All right, welcome to the Grand Arena. Kids of Freak 2.0 going up against Tony from the Bronx. We have a Ret Hunter Shaman team facing off against a Turbo, a Warrior Enhancement Shaman Restoration Druid. Interesting. So, are you familiar with this matchup, Super T's? I know that you've run Turbo in the past.
Yeah, this is something that I play against a lot, and it really is just dependent on how the Red Hunter choose to play. If they play very passively and build to their maximum damage, which is 5 stacks on their barrage, it can be tremendously scary to heal through, and Zev's team is one that does do that. And Lossa actually Bladestorming already. I'm not sure if he was trying to maybe Bladestorm over a trap, but that cooldown is going to be out of the way very early on. Chilyn pushing across the map. TKO aware that he's probably the target here. He's already camping in bear form. The Avenging Wrath's going to be popped onto Tonyjr, trying to force Wodret in to have to heal here. Tony dipping low, Wyvern onto Wodret. Tony's still dipping low, down to 7%, gets an NS heal off there. He's going to use the Gift of the Nara as well as the Shamanistic Rage, popping the Ascendance. That's all of his defensive cooldowns here to try and stay alive and make a turnaround onto Zev here, who's down to 50% as well. Wodret TKO had to trinket there as well, and it's not looking good for Tony from the Bronx.
Yeah, Wodret deciding to use his Heart of the Wild there. He wants to stabilize his team so they can get some pressure rolling. Zev's actually hovering around 50% HP right now. Absterge is going to be able to get those healing surges off, though, and top them off for now. Wodret using his Trinket, like you said, and if they can keep making swaps onto Tonyjr, I guess. I'm not sure what their target of choice is. The Hodge there, finally onto Wodret. He uses that Barskin. He has the Heart of the Wild up as well, so he's going to be fine. But because they use the Barskin, they're just going to go ahead and trap him up. And now they're hitting Tonyjr, who has to play very, very defensive, pulling back, trying to get some damage onto Zevs, who is at like 50% HP right now. Absterge's pushing up, trying to get the heals onto him, but Lossa's just on his back. So it looks like Tony from the Bronx going for some sort of split strategy, where Lossa's going to sit on the back of Absterge, and Tony's just going to play very defensive and try to get some damage onto Zevs.
Yeah, well, he used his Barskin there. Murder of Crows still hasn't even been used once this game, so Wodret TKO is very scared without a trinket for 48 seconds. Zev's going to be wanting to look up to set up on him very soon here. In the meantime, Kids of Freak 2.0 has been rotting down here. The Crows being popped onto Wodret TKO. They're going for the swift one-shot. Vigilance comes out. Will it be enough? Rallying Cry has to be used as well. Displacer Beast across, and Regrowth coming out. Absterge pushing in, popping the offensive purges, trying to take Wodret TKO down. Rally's going to be falling here, down to 20% HP, almost into kill shot range, 6%. Wodret TKO is going to get taken out, and that's exactly what I was talking about. The patience, not using that Murder of Crows until you've burned through the cooldowns and just taking the rest of Druid out is something that is almost insurmountable if you're able to accomplish it.
Yeah, and once Absterge actually has the freedom to roll in and spam purge Wodret, it becomes really hard for him to play catch-up.
Yeah.
Really, really, really hard.
I'm actually watching the replay right now, and as Wodret's running away, trying to get out of line of sight of the damage of this Ret Hunter team, he actually goes directly in line of sight of Absterge, and Absterge, just like you said, Van, spamming that purge button, really getting his team that advantage. And that's a really hard thing to heal through as a Restoration Druid. But the very first game of this Best of 3 series is going to go to Kids of Freak 2.0, running that Ret Paladin Hunter Shaman. All right. So let me just get in communication with these teams, figure out what compositions they're going to be running and whatnot, and figure out what map.
Someone asked me if they can join GCD. I think, can anyone join GCD? Is it only sub or?
We have a subscriber rank, though anyone can join. Essentially, the subscriber rank is just below officer.
Yeah, I'm not actually in the guild, so best of someone that is in the guild.
Yep.
Kalissa, I believe. Kalissa is our admin. If you want to slash who GCD TV, Kalissa can send you an invite. And here we go, guys. The next map of this Best of 3 series, chosen by Tony, is going to be on Dalaran Sewers. Here we go. The war game request being sent out. Good noises. That sound of a drum being banged. It means that the request actually did go out, which is good.
It's a very scary situation against Ret Hunter that places their cooldowns the way that Kids of Freak 2.0 did. So Zevs pops the Avenging Wrath, while Chilyn doesn't use Murder of Crows. And if you don't react with some sort of cooldown, then Zev just gets his wings off for free, and that's what exploded Tony in the beginning. So they're going to have to be aware of that. I think that Lossa should use his Vigilance in sync with the Avenging Wrath, whoever the target is, just timing those cooldowns together, the same cooldown to mitigate the damage. That way Shamanistic Rage, Barkskin, Iron Bark can be used on Murder of Crows, which is the cooldown that you want to align it with to stop that kind of damage from coming in too fast onto Tony. And he was very aggressive. Like, he was across the map from Hada TKO, trying to chase down Absterge, probably feeling a little bit overconfident. So he's going to be coming off that game with a bit of a wake-up call to the damage that Kids of Freak 2.0 can do. And let's see if they can get anything done on Dalaran Arena. Is that a bad thing? Oh.
I think is someone missing from this game?
No, everybody's in. I'm not trolling you.
Yeah. Don't have hot
I like how that's a thing. That, like, no, I'm not trolling you. Here we go.
Tony, the target of choice for now from Zev. Hada TKO playing Force of Nature this time around, trying to lay out some Trents early on. That way they'll do the healing while he gets CC'd early on. Tony overextending again to go after Absterge, jumping down below. Hada TKO pushes in with the bear form, reconvenes with his team, and Tony from the Bronx is playing much more passively now, pulling back to the box here. Wyvern Sting trying to come out. Tony's going to be able to tremor that if they don't crossly see. Double Shockwave comes out. Chilyn's going to trinket out of that, lands the full trap onto Hada TKO. Zev pops the Avenging Wrath immediately onto Tonyjr, and Tony's just running for his life right now, kiting the cooldowns out. Well played from Tony here. He might not even have to use anything. Lossa getting swapped to. He's going to use that regen heal to heal through the damage. Now Hada getting swapped to. He's going to Barkskin immediately through this damage. They're going to be saving the Vigilance and the Iron Bark. Tonyjr popping the Ascendance defensively as well to try and force Zev out. He's managed to force him away from Hada TKO, but they've forced the Barkskin. That's exactly what they were looking for.
Yeah, but that's really not too much to get for using the wings. Like you said, though, Chilyn doing an excellent job saving his cooldowns for the next swap. I'm sure he still has his BM Crows up, so Hotted will be in trouble the next time they decide to go onto him. Absterge is actually getting shockwaved up there with Zevs. Absterge getting hit really hard, though, down to 40% HP, spamming out those instants. The Windwalk totem coming out from him. He's trying to get some distance, trying to get away from Lossa. Lossa's killing off those totems, though, killing off the Healing Tide totem very, very fast. Chilling with the web root, though, onto Lossa. He's not able to connect back onto Absterge. And Zevs looks like he's trying to connect back onto Hotted. There's the Hodge, the BM Crows coming out. Hotted deciding to trinket that Bear Form and Iron Bark right away. He's going to be able to survive this swap for now, but that was a lot of cooldowns coming out of Hotted to survive that swap.
Yeah, he's only going to have Barkskin and NS with no trinket to deal with the Avenging Wrath, Murder of Crows that's going to be happening in 42 seconds. Those cooldowns going to be lining up almost perfectly. In the meantime, Tony from the Bronx trying to capitalize on the moment where they're not being pressured to go into Absterge, taking him down to 70%, but both healers are tied on mana. It's not looking too good right now. Lossa popping the Recklessness to try and get a little bit more done. Chilyn pushing up to look for a trap onto Hada TKO, and I'd imagine they're going to swap to him after it. Hada TKO just running away from the trap, having a bit of a 1v1 mind game between Chilyn. Absterge in the meantime is rotting down. Chilyn needs to get this trap quickly. Zev's down to 40%, going for the Wyvern. He does land the full Wyvern. He's not in bear form. If they're able to swap to him, it could be terrible. They're going to hodge him out of bear form. The barrage coming in here. He's going to Barkskin immediately, but that wasn't the Murder of Crows, and that wasn't the Avenging Wrath, and they're coming up in 2 seconds. All they have to do is survive at this point, wait for it to fade, and make another swap.
Yeah, he's going to have to pre-Iron Bark and be in bear form for that swap, or he is going to be a dead Druid. Zeb's pulling back. They know exactly what they want to do. I'd be very surprised if they use their cooldowns on anyone but Hotted. They're just waiting for a key opportunity, and if they can line it up onto him, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. The Shockwave coming out from Lossa, Bladestorm as well. Chilyn taking quite a bit of damage as well as Zev's. They are pushing in, though. Hotted is already in bear form, just hiding. He knows exactly what they want to do, and he's afraid. Chilyn pushing in, trying to get something on him. The Wings coming out, though, from Zev's. It looks like he's going to be hitting Tonyjr, the Iron Bark, as well as the Shaman Wall onto Tonyjr. Now, if they make a swap on Hada, he could be in a lot of trouble. The BM Crow's still available. Zev still has his wings up for another 7 seconds as well. Hada actually getting full trap there. Tonyjr Shaman Wall is going to fade, so maybe they're looking to go onto Tonyjr. I'm not sure.
Hada TKO getting hodged out of bear form. The Murder of Crows and Barrage is coming in right now, taking him down to 50%. Tony desperately off healing him, getting some big healing surges, and the Gift of the Naru was used as well to heal through this Murder of Crows. Vigilance popped as well. Hada TKO is going to escape by the skin of his teeth, top himself off here shortly. Chilyn running down, Zev running down, but they don't appear to, they want to give up the chase. Zev trying to reconnect, Hada kiting away, typhooning him down below. Absterge on the pillar here, looking to spam spam purge as he is already. Zev dipping low here. Absterge's mana is actually very low. He's been playing very offensive to try and end the game, and it might end up costing him here shortly as they didn't get the kill. Wodret getting trapped up here, maybe looking for a Hodge onto him out of that. They're going to swap onto him. He's not in bear farm. They're crushing him down to 50%. Tony trying to off-heal him here, gets an NS healing surge into a Maelstrom proc healing surge, bringing him back up to 80%, back into bear farm, jumping down out of line of sight. Lossa bringing the pressure onto Zev. Absterge able to top him off there, getting Windshield on his next heal. However, rotting down to 50%, looking for a Hex. Not going to be able to find the target though. Lossa switching over to Absterge now, bringing him down to 50% HP. He doesn't have he does have both links remaining here, but I think mana is going to be the big issue here. Wodret TKO getting Wyverned out of bear farm. They're going to be looking for a swap to him out of that, possibly half trap as well. He avoids the half trap. Absterge is dipping low down to 40%, trying to line of sight on the bottom here. Chilyn looking to try and land some CC here shortly. They're going to Hodge Wodret TKO up out of bear farm. He bark skins immediately, and they're just going to swap right off of it.
Yeah, and Absterge's mana, like you said, is going to be the name of the game, I think, going forward. The bash on Absterge is getting full cloned up by Wodret. Dampening has just kicked in. I'm not sure what Wodret's mana is like. I don't have his frame, but Zev's taking quite a bit of damage right now using that Divine Protection. Absterge's also getting low, and Absterge's just having a really hard time playing catch-up, getting the bot finally from Zev's, but Zev's in a lot of trouble, having to use the bubble as well. So many cooldowns being forced by Kids of Freak from Tony from the Bronx, and they're just riding this pressure, but that is the wings coming out from Zev's. They need to try to peel it. Wodret's in a lot of trouble, throwing out those trends, line of sighting the best he can, has that Iron Bark up on himself, throwing down the Shroom, getting as much healing as possible. Tonyjr now getting targeted down using that Shaw Maul, going to get topped off, and Zev's forced to push back a little bit as he's taking quite a bit of damage right now.
Yeah, that's another cooldown rotation for Kids of Freak 2.0, and it's not resulting in a kill just yet. And if they don't get a lot of pressure right now, Absterge is going to be on the back foot. Tonyjr already on him, pulling back now as the double shockwave lands onto the DPS into the charge stun now. Wodret TKO sitting comfortably at 90% mana as opposed to Absterge's 20%, dampening now at 7%. Wodret caught into a Hodge, but he is in bear form preemptively for it. And now Absterge's team is rotting down since they're playing so aggressive. Wodret TKO cutting away, Bladestorm comes out. Zev doesn't have a bubble left. He has one more bot, but that'll be stripped off by Tony immediately. 14% mana remaining on Absterge, having a harder and harder time. Wodret TKO actually getting trapped here full, going on to Tony. No Shamanistic Rage for 10 seconds. Murder of Crows actually coming out. They're trying to take him down to 40%. He's going to be able to off-heal himself here. The Iron Bark is going to be used by Wodret TKO, trying to roll the NS as well. He gets it off prior to the Hodge, keeping Tony alive for now. Still down to 50%. Now Wodret getting swapped to has to Bark skin as well. Avenging Wrath coming up in 40 seconds. And I really feel like Kids of Freak 2.0, their chance is going to happen when that Avenging Wrath comes up, and it might be their last one.
Yeah, as the game goes deeper and deeper into dampening, I think Tonyjr and Lossa are going to be favorited. It is going to be hard for Absterge to heal through, especially with such low mana. But like you said, these wings are coming up, and it might be too much burst for Wodret to heal through. Absterge still getting tunneled down. A nice knock trap there by Chilyn, giving him a little bit of time, but he's getting reconnected onto right now. The Ascendant's coming out from him. The Shockwave, though, coming out from Lossa onto Absterge, and he's having a really hard time healing through this. Meanwhile, Tonyjr pulling back. He knows they want to swap onto Wodret. He's trying to reconvene onto him so he can support him if he needs it. He is in bear form for that Hodge, so well done by him. The full trap, though, coming out from Chilyn. The wings coming out right now. Tonyjr in a lot of trouble. He has the Shaw Maul up. He's going to be taking a little bit less damage, but is it going to be enough? His off-heals are much weaker because of dampening. The Iron Bark coming out, though, and that was all the cooldowns from Zev's and Chilyn. Now Chilyn caught into the bash. Has to bop himself out of that. He's in a little bit of trouble. The wings are going to be fading. Tonyjr's HP is looking like it's going to stabilize, and they survived this onslaught from Chilyn and Wodret, and now it looks like it's going to be in Tonyjr and Lossa's favor.
Yeah, Wodret TKO getting Hodged here. He's going to bark skin immediately. He realizes that the one opportunity for Zev and Chilyn to get a kill is over, and now Tony and Lossa are on the offensive, popping the Recklessness, trying to take Absterge down. Wodret into a DR'd Wyvern. He's going to get Tremor out of that. Tony getting stable here at 40%. The Shockwave onto the DPS should secure his HP here. Absterge down to 15% mana now. Wodret TKO at 70%. Zev getting cloned up at low HP. They're just going to swap over to Absterge. Tony's going to connect here shortly. Absterge has to be careful. Down to 30% HP here on the bottom. Pops the Battlemaster into the full Shockwave. He trinkets that immediately and tries to get the Cloudburst Totem charged up here. Wodret into a Hodge. They're going to land the full trap, try and make something happen to Tonyjr. He's got that Shamanistic Rage available. He's going to use it immediately. It might not be enough. He pops the Ascendance to try and counter kill Absterge. The Rallying Cry comes out with the Vigilance as well. All they have to do is push through this pain and take Absterge down to secure the game here. Rally's going to be fading here shortly. Iron Bark was used there as well onto Tonyjr to secure his health. Zev rotting down, Chilyn running down, Absterge at 76% with 4% mana left in the tank. Lossa's actually just going to trinket out of that Wyvern, saying there's not a lot of CC available for him. Reconnect onto Zev, bring him down to 30%. Tony pushing in to put the last nail in the coffin here. Zev down to 20%. The first Spirit Link, actually the second Spirit Link being dropped there, gets chopped up instantaneously. Zev trying to kite away, has no bubble and no bop remaining. Tony's just going to go after Absterge. He's got nothing left, down to 19%. And what do you do with 1% mana? You live, because you're Absterge apparently, down to 30% HP. Zev's going to get charged and swapped to at 30% as well. And Tony from the Bronx, even though they've got them completely are struggling to end the game here.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, Wodret's, his Avenging Wrath is coming up. He's trying to make something happen. Absterge's getting so low, though, down to 7% HP. It's not going to be enough. But Zev's cooldowns as well as Chilyn's cooldowns were coming up there. So, I mean, if they survive for a little bit longer, they might have been able to make something happen, but that was tough for Absterge to deal with.
It was incredible that this team lasted as long as they did. I mean, literally 1% mana, rotating through their defensive cooldowns quite well. But the consistent pressure, the purges, and the good rotation of the defensive cooldowns from Tony from the Bronx are going to prove worthy. And there it is, the second game of this best-of-3 series is going to go to Tony from the Bronx, and they're going to tie it up here in tournament number 16 in the lower bracket. Now, the team that wins the next map will advance, and the team that loses will be eliminated from tournament number 16, as this is the lower bracket. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get in communication with these teams once again. Something to note that you said, Ven, was in dampening, the Enhancement Shaman becomes a lot less useful. Like, a big reason to why they're so tanky is because they have their own off-heals. Now, if they were to bring it to a deep enough dampening, do you think that the Enhancement Shaman would be a good kill target for Kids of Freak 2.0, or...?
It's kind of like, it's kind of a double-edged sword, because I mean, although the Enhancement Shaman's heals are a little bit weak, they also prevent a lot of heals with their purges and their shocks, so it becomes hard for the other team to deal with dampening as well. Not only that, but we're looking at a rep pally, so both teams have hybrids that rely a little bit on off heals, so I don't think it matters too much.
Okay, I feel you there. Yeah, so not only do they have off heals, but they also have some other tools to keep them alive.
And there's two ways they can play it out. They can try and trap Hotted TKO out of bear form, and then when he's trapped out of bear form, look to hodge him out of it. But I think Absterge was on one frame of mind of spamming Purge and ending the game, whereas Zev and Chilyn weren't on that same frame. They were pulling back a lot, like baiting the cooldowns, pull back, baiting the cooldowns, pull back, and it just got to a point where they ran out of steam, dampening was too high, they couldn't deal with it anymore. So I think if they're all on the same page, they can definitely take it down, and I think they all need to play very offensive to do it.
Alright, so it looks like they are going to choose Ruins of Lordaeron. With a small map like this, I really hope they're on the same page, because this map can be deadly for Hotted, or even Tonyjr from this Rep Paladin Hunter team. But we're going to find out here in just one short minute. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome to Ruins of Lordaeron. This is the last game of this best-of-3 series between these fantastic teams. Kids of Freak 2.0 running that Ret Hunter Shaman, going up against Tony from the Bronx running Turbo Cleave with Lossa, Tonyjr, and Hotted TKO. Here we go, 9 seconds until these gates open.
Yeah, and Runes of Lordaeron kind of triggers to say that they're going to be going after Hotted TKO a lot. Tony, Lossa, and Hotted are going to be on top of their game here, using the Vigilance on the appropriate cooldowns, as well as making sure you're in bear form constantly. We're really looking for Chilyn and Wodret to get the pressure rolling. They're already hodging TKO here, and he's going to trinket out of the first hodge to answer the Avenging Wrath, and Barkskin used as well. They're just going to swap over to Tony. He's going to Shaman Rage. The Iron Bark has to be used here. Chilyn looking for a Wyvern Sting here, but they're not able to land it. Lossa getting swapped to now, taken down to 50%. They're immediately going to be going back to Hotted here, I would assume, as they got through the trinket, the Barkskin, and the Iron Bark. The next hodge could easily be Hotted's life.
Yeah, and they still have the BM Crows, like you're saying, and Wodret and Chilyn doing an excellent job of rotating their cooldowns to force a lot, and Hotted has nothing left for quite some time, but Absterge's on the back foot right now, hovering around 40% HP, trying to get some heals off. The Bladestorm coming out from Lossa. The double root coming out, though, from Chilyn, trying to peel for Absterge a little bit. Hotted has that Heart of the Wild up right now, trying to empower his Hots. It's really the only thing that's going to be able to carry him from a certain death. But Absterge just so much trouble right now on him. The bop coming out from Zevs, and Absterge's really not able to get offensive at all. And Hodded's Barkskin's coming up in 2 seconds. They weren't able to really capitalize on him not having those cooldowns available. Chilyn finally using the BM Crows onto Tonyjr. Hodded caught into that full Hodge. If they can get a trap out of it, Tony could be in a lot of trouble. There's the full trap. Tony at 39% HP. He has no Shawn Wall. Oh, he does have a Shawn Wall available, deciding not to use it. Using the Ancestral Guidance as well as the Ascendance there, keeping the pressure rolling onto Absterge, pardon me. He's trying to get out those heals using his Aura Mastery. The double Shockwave, though, coming out from Lossa. Now Absterge in quite a bit of trouble. He still has both Spirit Links available, but his mana is already getting worked over so hard. Zev's getting really low, almost into execute range at 28% HP, kiting the best he can, getting bashed up, having to use Bubble, and Kid's a Freak just on the back foot.
Yeah, Absterge still having a hard time. Hodded TKO into the full Hodge. He's going to Barkskin that immediately. He realizes how much pressure his team has. The Ascendants being popped by Absterge here. Tony from the Bronx needs to stop these heals. Good fear, denying all of these Ascendants healing. And Tonyjr looking for a Hex here. Going to Hex Absterge out of that. He actually trinkets that full Hex.